boys in our family. We have a very big life. And 10-year-old and twin 5-year-old. And just love my oils and happy to talk about them. So, do you want to take it, Rachel?
Sure. So I'm Rachel. I don't know how long I've used oils actually. When you said you think 3 years, I don't remember. I actually went to oils. You guys hear me okay? Okay, mine's glitching on my end. I started with oils because of a family health issue, and I didn't really understand what was going to happen as they unfolded. We also use them in our daily lives for cleaning, for cooking. Knock on wood, we use it every night for our kids. So thankfully, we've avoided pretty much everything. This year, I use them on our dog. Pretty much anything you can think of, we use them for. So I love them. And they've just been a huge asset to our lives. And at first it was overwhelming, but the more you read, the more you research, hopefully you have a supportive upline like Lauren and Corinne. They're awesome. So any questions that you have, you can reach out and find out how to incorporate them more so into your lives. Because when I started, I just kind of was like, blah, I don't know what to do with these. And just one thing at a time, you learn more and more. And then they kind of take over your lives. And then you realize you have them in every room. And it's the oil addiction. So anyway, that's me. And yeah, and then there's Lauren.
Well, hello, I'm Lauren. Jilly and I know each other, but I'll just introduce myself really quick for anybody who you might want to share this recording with, Rachel. And so I'm Lauren Bernard, and I have been using oils since, it's going to be 4 years this summer, I think.
Oh.
And I was introduced to them looking for a bottle of lavender at my neighbor's house next door, even though I had been using like random tea trees and lavenders for years. And I'm so in love with them, like all of us probably are. And I would say that I use them in every aspect, but my very favorite is as a mom, to keep my kids well and to keep the toxins down in our home, and also in my own like emotional and spiritual transformative work. So that's it in a nutshell. Great. Yeah, and I love being a leader within doTERRA too.
Fantastic.
So if Jillian, if you want to say anything or add any comments, introduce yourself, or anything in particular that you're looking for from this discussion, let us know. We're just going to go through a few basics and share a few testimonials. So whenever you have a minute, you can do that. So we'll keep an eye on it. Ladies, do you want to share any specific testimonials? Maybe we could talk about first the foundational oils and like maybe what to do when, like Corinne was saying, she felt overwhelmed getting herself started. You too, Rachel. And what is the first thing you should do when you're first starting out, or you've maybe dabbled in using your oils a little bit at the beginning?
Well, I tell you that when I first got my oils, I was so excited. Like I had listened to this class and I was like, this is what I need in my life. And then the oils came and I was so excited, and I opened them all and I smelled them, and then I put them on the counter because what am I supposed to do with them, right? And I remember my kids had some kind of illness. So hand, foot, and mouth, that's what it was. And I still didn't know how to use my oils even to help, you know, soothe feelings and make them feel better during it or anything. So I had been up all night. And I remember it was Father's Day the next day. And I'd been up all night, and I started to have this just like, you know how when you're overly tired, you get that like, oh, I feel like crud. I've got this like pounding ache. I'm not. So I suffered because I like, So, and then it finally dawned on me that I had these oils, and I was like, you know what? I know that this can help me. I know it can make me feel a little bit. And I remembered that peppermint can be cooling and make you relieve some of that tension. So I put some on my forehead, in the back of the neck, and I will tell you. And I remember my mom turning to me and saying, "You really feel better, don't you?" And I did. And that was for me that moment that it was like, I made the right choice here. I am this is gonna work in our lives. And that's it. So it is where I kind of started. And then that one empowering moment really just kind of set me to go and use all the rest of my oils. How about you guys?
Rachel, you can go. What?
Mute yourself, girl. You're muted.
Oh, okay. So I would say I started with like protocols that I was given at the first class that I knew I wanted to focus on. So I would say if you didn't do that in getting started, coming up with like the 3 things you want to focus on. And mine was in particular like the seasonal stuff that was happening springtime. Arizona can be horrible. And we did lemon, lavender, and peppermint, equal drops in a diffuser at bedtime. And literally just doing that was a game changer for my kids, myself. And it's just been, that's definitely like a great tip. So just start by, I would say, one thing, one simple thing. And diffusing is like the easiest thing ever. So that's a pretty simple tip, but I'll just stick with that. See, is Rachel still there?
I'm here. Can you see me?
Okay. There we go. Do you want to do something?
Yeah, so I started a little bit more of my daughter was diagnosed with epilepsy. It'll be 3 years ago in April. And I think one of the biggest things that I felt was not having any control over the situation. And so when I started doing research with the oils and realizing there are things that could help support her. And then also in our everyday lives, things that we clean with, I didn't realize how much they can absorb in our skin, or, you know, we could smell them, what kind of effect they could have on us. Mm-hmm. So through her diagnosis, I started incorporating more of a clean, green living. So it gave me an element of which I felt I could take a little bit back of the control of my surroundings. And, you know, one thing I love, you know, our kids can help us clean. I remember I used to buy Windex, and I'd never let the kids be around when I was cleaning the windows because I didn't want them to smell it. And now, you know, we make our own, you know, Windex window cleaner, and the kids can do it. We don't have to worry about it. So I like the freedom, and I also like the control. You know, if our kids come down with any kind of nasal discomfort or things like that, I know I can go to any resources that I have, whether it's one of our Facebook sites. There's a great books out there. The Essential Life book is fantastic. And, you know, Google, you can always Google and see what they come up with. But yeah, I like being able to take back some of the elements of control in our life.
Yeah, totally. I'm going to just read a little bit of the chat for everybody because I think it's really helpful, and then just add to it a little bit. So wondering about the coughs and sore throats and things going on this time of year. So Rachel has suggested the Breathe Stick, which is an amazing product. It's very like a vapor rub and very easy to apply. You don't have to get it on your hands or anything. You can swipe feet. You can do the chest, the back of the spine. Works really nicely and effectively to alleviate any respiratory discomfort. Also diffusing frankincense, Siberian fir, and Breathe at night. Yeah, I love using frankincense and breathe together for respiratory stuff, and it also just supports like the stress and the rest that comes with respiratory discomfort, as well as being effective on the respiratory system. So I would, and the Siberian fir, how awesome is that, you guys? Loving it, loving it. That just came out in October. Thanks, Rachel. I wanted to say too that of course you want to have your on guard diffusing a lot, and you want to perhaps make like hand sanitizer or some hand soap out of it if you don't have the soap products yet in your home, Jillian, or consider making a list of things that you might want to add to a wish list and start up either utilizing the LRP monthly ordering, or to set up like that wish list for quarterly promotions is really like the best way to utilize your membership in ordering, choosing one or the two, because you get the most benefits that way, I think. And I would highly recommend like having the On Guard hand soap, or like using the bottle of On Guard to make your own hand soap. And that during this time is so good with the kids. I would also say that utilizing oregano and melaleuca in the family physician kit, or the family essentials kit as it's called, is pretty fundamental too. Just rubbing those two together on bottoms of the feet every day has been really helpful. I also highly recommend, as long with just like supporting those major symptoms like we've talked about with those like either topical applications, I find using Epsom salt and melaleuca, frankincense, and lavender in the bath, like just a drop each. So you mix that in with like about a half a cup of Epsom salt, maybe some baking soda for softening the skin, and adding to the mix of dispersing the oil is a really good way to help the body's immune system fight any kind of viral stuff. So yeah, that's just on that specific topic there.
Mm-hmm. And I will also say that it's very soothing if you have your throat discomfort to gargle. And I do this with my older child, not with the little ones, because I don't trust them not to just drink it. But I have them do a little bit of warm tap water, just warm-ish water, with a little coconut oil and some lemon and some oregano. And just gargling with that is really soothing. I do that myself, and you can just feel pretty good after that. I also, for this particular season, have to say that one of the products that you should always consider having is On Guard Plus gel caps. These are amazing, amazing, amazing. Not so much for the kids. I think that for kids 10 and under, it's not recommended for them to take any oils internally. But the On Guard On Guard Plus gel caps are amazing for everybody else. They have On Guard and oregano and black pepper and Melissa in them, and they are like super duper. Put them in your cart right now. You will not regret it. They are great. I know about you guys, but they are, if you feel like just don't feel quite right, take one of those and so for that, sure. And then what else was I going to say? Oh, with the little ones, when they are, with all the respiratory stuff going around, it can be really soothing for their breathing to just put a drop of breathe in your hands, or put a drop of Siberian fir in your hands, and just kind of rub your hands together and then hold it over their mouth so they can breathe it in. That's something that my kids just will like ask for, like, Mom, I need to breathe, or I need some Siberian fir. And I love that my kids know what to use. They're always kids, for sure.
Yeah, it's good to tell them what you're doing.
Oh, they love it. They totally do. I think it feels empowering to them. I mean, I think it's empowering to us as adults and as moms to have like all these tools at our fingertips, but for the kids, like, they're not used to having so much control, I think, in a lot of different aspects. But for them to be able to know, like, I know this is going to help me, and to ask for it by name is really huge. for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's huge for us as moms to be able to say, you know what, yes, you can have that. I'm glad that you identify that that's what you need, and I'm so happy to help you with that, you know, and just trust them to put it in the roller ball and hand them the roller ball and let them do it themselves. It's cool.
Well, on that note, Corinne, do you want to talk about making roll-ons?
Sure. So rollerballs, if you haven't seen them, do you guys have one? I'm sitting in my empty house.
Yeah, I do.
So if you could show what they look like. So that's a one that you've made yourself, that rollerball. So you can also buy them pre-made from doTERRA, and those are called touch oils when doTERRA does them. And that just means the oil comes in a roller ball, just like Lauren showed, but it's already pre-made and pre-diluted to the proper ratios. And now when we talk about that, there you go, Rachel, very beautiful. There's one, a touch oil. The doTERRA, when I talk about diluted oils, when you hear someone say diluting, I just want to have a quick note here that that does not mean that you're taking away the strength of an essential oil. It means that you are adding a carrier oil to it. And by carrier oil, I mean something like a coconut oil or a jojoba or an extra virgin olive oil or something that's kind of close to natural that you can use with your oils. And we're going to call it diluting, but it's sort of not the greatest term because we're not actually taking away any of the efficacy of the oil. What you're doing is adding this carrier oil to it to allow the oils to absorb more slowly in, which there are a lot of benefits for that. So it just kind of takes a little bit longer for it to absorb into your skin, which is better because that means it's getting in there and it's doing what it needs to do and has time to do it. It also means that it's not flashing out because these are volatile compounds. They just kind of evaporate into the air. And when you add a carrier oil, it means that it's not going to do that so quickly. So you're putting it on your skin and it's absorbing more slowly and not going out into the air. So you get more of your oil, which is fantastic. And there, Lauren is Vanna Whiting. Can that be a verb? This carrier oil. This is fractionated coconut oil. And it's nice. The fractionated coconut oil from doTERRA is especially nice because it's coconut oil, which we all know and love, and we know it has all these different properties that are just fantastic. But we know that when we cook with coconut oil, that when it's cold out, it goes solid, and when it's warm, it goes liquid. And with the fractionated coconut oil, you don't have that back and forth. Always liquid, and it's nice fractionated because I find it washes right out of clothes because I don't know, guys, my kids are like oil and my kids run across the floor and put my feet on the couch and like get it all over me and it washes out, which is nice. Not like some of the cooking oils that you might use or other oils, jojoba, whatever. So diluting oils is something we always recommend. It's also good because it reduces the possibility of skin sensitivity. So you can always use oils on the bottom of your feet because feet have that nice tough skin, helps and big pores. So the oil gets absorbed up through your feet pretty quickly, and you don't have to worry about skin sensitivity. But I even advocate diluting on the bottom of your feet for the reasons I said already. It also helps your oils last longer, and not. And it makes them easier to use. So you just put some oil in some essential oil in your roller ball, put some fractionated coconut oil or whatever you're using, and you can just roll them on. You can hand it to your kid and here, put it on your feet. My kids actually prefer that because they think it tickles when I do it. And when you're doing it yourself, it's not so tickly. And then the touch oils that come from doTERRA are already pre-diluted to like the perfect amounts, and they're supposed to be suitable for all ages, which is kind of a nice thing. If you're using them on super, super, super small little ones, I would still put a little bit more of the carrier oil with it, just because I think that makes sense to be as cautious as you can, but they're safe. Did I miss anything?
No, I think that's really good. It's so nice to think ahead about the season and what kind of roll-ons you might want to prepare. Like this time of year, having one that has like On Guard and Melaleuca and oregano and frank in it, at least those for seasonal anything, right? And that way that you're feeling run down, you can just grab that and swipe it all over wherever you want to put it, or on your kiddo, is a lot easier than like being, because I just had this where I was kind of laid out last week. And when you feel like you just can't even move, the last thing you want to do is like, where did I put that oil? And oh, I have to get up and get it. And like, it just takes the effort out of it if you can think ahead. And like, the first class that I went to was make over your medicine cabinet, and like a whole like mind-blowing comparison to things that we can't even really talk about anymore. But like that concept of like make over your medicine cabinet and like think about yourself and like your family's rooms and make things easy for yourself. And you know, I've even made like tiny little dropper bottles that are just small, like dram size, of like pure lavender, and just put the little stickers that you can order on your account on them. And those are in my kids' rooms so that I can say, hey, go fill your diffuser. And I've taught them how to put like 4 drops in their diffuser at night. And they can choose from like a couple of different things. So I think it's great to like set yourself up for making it easy. Otherwise, we go through phases where we just don't use it. And that's when things get rough.
Yeah, and I will also say that I'm lazy. I feel like I just need to say that. If those are anywhere other than the kitchen counter, like it's too much effort for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if girls are like that, but you know what? Not just on the kitchen cabinet. I have on the kitchen counter. I have oil upstairs near the kids' bedrooms. I have them on like my vanity. One of my favorite oils, I have to say, also put in your cart for next, is Immortelle.
Oh yeah.
Who loves Immortelle? I love that oil. That
I use it every day.
My skin, for sure, I do.
Every day.
Except when I get lazy, because it's an ongoing problem for me. But I will tell you that has transformed my skin like nothing I have ever used. I had the lovely privilege of having that skin when I got older that decided to be acne and blemishes. And I think it's stress for me, because when I'm stressed, I do this and I touch myself, and this is where I break out. I do this. So I had such terrible scarring, and my skin was that horrible, like, patches of like oily stuff up here and like flaky dry stuff here, and maybe that's backwards. No, flaky and oily and patches of red and this horrible like scarring, and like, and I didn't like having my picture taken. I didn't like seeing my skin like that. And I wore makeup, and people always said that I had nice skin because I was good at makeup. But now I actually have nice skin. And it's just because it's been so transformative for me. That Immortelle, it's so amazing. It has reduced the appearance of all of that horrible scarring around here, and it's evened out my skin tone. I don't have those stupid red patches anymore, and my face doesn't like break out nearly as often. And when it does, like, I know what I'm going to use. So I feel really empowered with that. And it has been life changing for me. And I remember the first time that someone took a picture of me, like one of my kids, because, you know, like when you don't feel good about your skin, you don't let people take your picture. But with your kids, you know, you let them have your camera. And I remember I had just woken up, and I had like, you know, that disgusting greasy flat hair and no bra, and, you know, like I was living the dream kind of look. And one of my kids snapped a picture of me with our regular camera. And I was thinking to myself, okay, well, I'm going to smile for the picture because it's my kids. And then when I look at the picture, it's going to be horrible, you know? And I remember looking at the camera and being like shocked that it wasn't horrible. It wasn't a horrible picture. My skin looked good. And I remember almost wanting to cry because it was such a profound moment for me, like of acceptance and feeling like good about myself. And it's all that oil. It has changed my life. So get it.
I totally use Immortelle every day as deodorant. I know that seems ridiculous. I don't.
Rollerball for that, or do you just like?
Oh,
how's that go down, Lauren?
It's the same one. So if you smell it at my class, it's been in my armpits.
That's good.
don't use a whole lot of it. I don't use a whole lot of it. Genevieve, that's a very expensive deodorant, which it is, but it's so great. I just love it. But I love the Immortelle serum that's in Barrage so much. I use that every day too. What about you, Rachel? What do you love beyond basics or whatever? What do you love?
I cannot live without. There's a few that I can't live without. I don't know if you're ever drawn to certain oils, certain times of.
Yeah.
So one of my favorites right now is cinnamon. And it's in On Guard, so not only does it support your immune system, it just smells amazing. So I use cinnamon. I diffuse it every day, like in the living room area. Sometimes I'll add wild orange to it. And then, but with the skincare, I use Barrage as well every day. It is, I mean, I have really sensitive skin. I'll try different products, different brands, and I will break out. Barrage is amazing. So if you haven't tried that, I highly recommend it. Our On Guard laundry detergent is fantastic if you're looking for a low chemical way to clean your clothes that also smells good. The Rose Touch. The Rose Touch I actually use every day for emotional support. If you don't have this one, I would put it on my happy want list. This has been amazing. This has actually just become available to us. Used to not be able to buy Rose, but I use this daily just for, I enjoy the smell, but also for the emotional support of it. While we're on here, does everybody understand LRP and things like that? I think that's a big question that usually pops up in my group. I don't know if you guys want to talk about LRP and kind of how that works.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna have to run. I have to get my kids.
I was gonna say, like, let's end on saying, like.
Oh, Jillian wants to talk about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. We can talk about it just for a minute if you have to go. But I'm gonna share screens because I want to point everybody to something. Hang on. Okay. So if you go to doTERRA.com under our advocates, the Empowered Success, and then you'll find the Live Guide, and you can open it up, download it. You can buy a copy if you want to. I just want to say that if you haven't done so already with either Rachel, Corinne, myself, or anybody else who's enrolled you on our team, to sit down with them or have a conversation with them, set up a time to do this and go through this, or just go through it yourself and then feel free to like shoot us some questions. But they just recently updated this and I was really impressed with what they did. I don't know if anybody else has seen it yet, but it's really well done. And it kind of, everything that we all teach in our intros, you know, focusing on where you're at and where you're feeling most out of balance and what products are good to focus on because it is so easy to get overwhelmed, then this is a good place to start to think about, you know, that wish list and what you might consider. And this walks you through like everything you would need to know in those categories, some great protocols. And then the cool part about it is at the end, it sets you up like a 3-month action plan and talks more about LRP and all of the benefits of it, spells it out really, really nicely. So I encourage you to talk with one of us more about that or take a look at this and get yourself some questions and some ideas. And then we can have an even briefer conversation if you'd like. But this is great, right? Doesn't it look good?
Mm-hmm.
So LRP, quick breakdown, and then maybe we can wrap it up. All right. I guess this is as good as my, here we go. Thanks, Rachel, for everything. I think she had to go. Are you still with me, Corinne?
I'm here.
You got to go soon too, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So the Loyalty Rewards Program, or LRP, is basically a monthly order. And the best way to utilize your membership, as I was saying, in my opinion, is to do LRP or to create your wish list of things and then participate in quarterly 200 PV promotions where you get something awesome for free, and to keep on top of when that's happening. Because if you just do one-time orders sporadically, that's awesome. You get your 25% wholesale discount, but you're not really maximizing the benefits because there's so many great ways that you can get more for less. So LRP is the absolute best way to do it. And you essentially set up a template, and then it will regenerate itself on that same date every month. It can be modified, so you can like bump the date out if you need a week or 10 days or a little bit extra, with as long as it falls within each month. But it can be modified. And then if you need to cancel it, if something happens, it's not going to be a disaster. You just call the super easy 800 number and then ask them to cancel it, and they can. I just always recommend that any points you earn, you use before you do that, or let us know if we can help you. But essentially, you're earning product points back. So in quarterly, you start earning incrementally more and more points back of your total dollars spent. So Corinne and Rachel and I have been participating in it for, over all this whole time. And so at the year, you max out at 30%. So for every $100 we spend each month, we get $30 in free oils, basically, is the gist of it. But take a look at all those fine details. Do you want to explain any of this other stuff, Corinne?
Any what other stuff?
Anything else? Can you see the screen?
That's small for me.
It's too small. Okay. I wonder if I can zoom it.
Well, maybe I can. If I turn myself here, maybe I can see it. I need glasses.
There's also a free product of the month when you participate in Loyalty Rewards, which is awesome. There's also a graph here that talks about the different incentives for how much you have to place, because it's not like you have to place your $100 order. You can place a $1 order each month and still hold any points that you may have accumulated. You can place a $50 order and continue advancing on that percentage. 100 is really great for us because it allows us to earn commission as well as all of those great points. It's just a nice round number to think of like maximizing getting points back. For 125 each month by the 15th, you qualify for whatever the free product of the month is, which is super. This is the way that I built my collection slowly, and also the way that I would think about, okay, next month I want to focus on branching out more into working on the emotional support in my home, or the green cleaning and reducing my toxic load. So you break up, prioritize the different things that you want to add in, and then just each month update your shopping cart and refill things that maybe have run out or whatever. So it's been great. It's always exciting when you get new things in the mail too. We just love it. And you save so much money because then you have a 3-point redemption fee when you turn your points in to redeem them. So I usually wait till I have about 100 and then I cash them all in for Immortelle or something.
Yeah. And I just want to add that I love the LRP program so much. And when I first started, and I knew that I wanted to build my collection and get a bunch of cool oils, I knew I wanted to build it. I knew I wanted to see what they all did and smell them and stuff like that. And this gave me the opportunity to budget for it, to do that, to get those oils and try new things. And that free product of the month was super cool because I would get things that I was not interested in, because I've got to say, a lot of people love lavender. I am not first that smell. It just, I don't care for it. So Serenity is an oil that is fantastic for anything that you have that you need to better, you need to calm yourself, you need to calm your kids down, you need to spritz an unruly family member with it. It is a fantastic oil.
Yeah.
And I probably would never have gotten it like early on because it has lavender in it. But it was a free product of the month, like early on for me. So I got it and I was like, I'm going to hate this because, you know, it's lavender. And I got it and like, I not only didn't hate it and was surprised because it's not just lavender, it's got a bunch of other stuff and it's actually really nice. And they reformulated it a couple of years ago. Now I actually love it. But having that, getting that free was just like so cool. I just loved that. So I built my collection this way, and I have to say, I have to build on what Lauren said, like getting those free oils, because you not only earn your percentage back in whatever you place in PV, you get a percentage, and that ranges from anywhere from 10 to 30%. You also get all of your shipping back. And I'm an Amazon girl, and I'm used to not paying for shipping. So I love that I get my shipping back in points. So there's some real advantages to doing the LRP. And if you can, you know, add that into your budget every month, and if it means giving up a Starbucks coffee or, you know, a couple, it's totally worth it. I love it. So anyway, sorry.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, and also when you go to the doTERRA website and under our advocates, and empowered success, to find this live guide, there are a ton of videos here too, which are great. Tools and different things. There's, I think, or maybe it's under the living section. I thought there was like a little video here on, yeah, there's a video here on loyalty rewards. And I would say as like a big part of Oils Now What is just get familiar with like how awesome this website on doTERRA.com is and like how many great things there are. This Empowered Life series is really awesome. I love watching these different videos on different topics. So if you have like a focus on immunity and respiratory health, here you go, Jillian. They made this one last year. And there's several different wellness advocates that give their take on specific practices that are wonderful. So let's see. Yeah, so I'm looking on doTERRA.com. That's Empowered Life series. And then the Live Guide is definitely something to look at. And there's all the frequently asked questions about LRP and lots of great protocols here on lifestyle and what you might do. So if you'd like to schedule anywhere from a like 20-minute to an hour consultation, just let me know. We'll get it on the calendar. Or let Corinne know, or people know, or Megan, anybody else who's enrolled you.
And that's really nice because these kind of calls are good, and these chats are great. But a consult will give you some one-on-one time with the person who enrolled you, who has that good knowledge about oils, and sit down with you and talk about what's going on in your life and what you want to achieve and what you want to accomplish, and help you formulate a plan for getting there. So it's super advantageous for you to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I like how this breaks it down to, you can see, well, if I order this, you know, for 3 months and I'm going to end up earning this many points back, then I could use that to get this item for free. And if at the end of 3 months, you're feeling like you have plenty of things that you need and you want to focus on it for a while, then just place like a lip balm in your LRP and, you know, hold those points until you're ready to redeem them or whatever. And it will at least save your percentage. Or you can certainly cancel it. But I think it's worthwhile to keep it going. And that way, when there is, even if you did just keep it at like a minimum PV, if there is a 200 PV promotion and you place that to get whatever the free item is, then you can also earn your product points at a great percentage back. So after doing it for 3 months, then you bump up to 15% back. So it's definitely the best way to utilize having a wholesale account. And I'm sure we all have like a neighbor or whatever that we can ask, you know, do you need a bottle of lavender? And you can add it to your orders from time to time too, which I definitely did in the beginning because I was always looking to get the product of the month. So I would say, sure, I can order you lavender or whatever. So that's helpful in getting points back. Anything else, ladies, for today?
That's it.
Super grateful for your time. This was fun seeing you and chatting.
For sure.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions, I mean, any of us can help. So don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah, we're all here for each other, right? That's why we signed up with doTERRA, because we have a little family here.
It's so true. And I will tell you that the doTERRA culture is just unlike anything I've ever encountered in or anywhere else, where everyone is just, doesn't matter what team you're on and you know who you've been with, just people are just excited about oils and want to talk about them and they want to help you. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't this nice too? I don't know if you can see it. So it's really tiny, probably, Corinne, but this is nice. They added just a cute little like guide for all the different oils. It breaks it down into their, you know, benefits.
Great.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, and I will also say there is a really app that you might want to look into downloading.
Yeah.
And it's called, gosh, what is it called? Lauren, what's it called?
Is it the Daily Drop or is it the
Uh-uh.
the Modern Essentials?
Modern Essentials, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
I Intune so I can get my mind back. Modern Essentials is an app, and I have an iPhone. It was like $7. It's totally worth it. $7 flat, like, so you're not paying that every month. It's just a one-time fee. Yeah. And it's nice because you can kind of look up what you are interested in knowing about. If you're interested in, like, I'm feeling anxious right now, it'll help you find an oil that'll help you feel less anxious. If you've worked out too hard and like I have, and you're sitting here thinking, how am I going to get up off of the floor? It will help you with that. And you can it will just recommend some different oils to try, and it's super helpful. And because it can be completely overwhelming at first to know where to go. So again, the app is Modern Essentials, and I would highly recommend that.
Yeah, absolutely. And love this living magazine that comes with your membership. That is really fun to look through and get ideas from. And most of the things that are in there are featured on the blog. So you can go on doTERRA.com and find the blog. So lots of good things to get you started. Thank you, Nicole, for joining us too on your phone. I appreciate you being here. And I'm going to do a little drawing that I will post on Facebook, the winner of all who participated. I'm going to give away a roll-on blend that I made called Bye Bye Baggage. And it is from a reference book that I adore called I Am Fabulous. And this is written by a presidential diamond named Desiree Mangendog, and she created all of these blends for emotional well-being and transformation based on her background in acupuncture and Chinese medicine. She's an amazing wealth of knowledge, and she just does some crazy things with her awareness of botanicals and understanding of like the emotional, energetic combinations there. And I think it's probably just been her life experience and like helping people, but these blends are ridiculous. They really do what they say, but I'll just give you a little rundown. That Bye Bye Baggage it's a mixture of a lot of things. And she has even like the recipes written, and then like what the specific oil is doing for this intention of this purpose for the blend and how to use it. So she says this assists you in releasing any kind of toxic people, places, circumstances in your life. Generally, we know what and who are healthy and nourishing in our lives. However, often we can become addicted to what is unhealthy for us, and this blend will help you identify the negative baggage in your world and create a desire to shed all that baggage for good. And this is a very transformative blend to help you transition into a new way of being. So very good for a new moon day. Yeah. So check out her stuff. You can get her books and even these cute labels. And I think maybe even like Rollerballs come on Amazon now that you can buy all of it. It's even a cute coloring book. So when you make a blend, you can color it in. She does suggest using 5 ml for her recipes, but I always buy the 10 because if I'm going to get out all those oils, I'm going to make it into 10 ml. I just, you know, double it or just add extra coconut oil because she actually uses a lot of drops. I think it's fine to just dilute it a little more.
But you learned the benefit of those 5 mils is they fit in all the oil boxes as a regular bottle.
That's
so
true.
I started with the 5s because I like the way they store.
True. Good point.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10 different oils in this. So the winner's getting a combo of sandalwood, frankincense, cedarwood, cinnamon, eucalyptus, lemon, melaleuca, thyme, white fir, and Douglas fir. So I will let you know on Facebook who the winner is. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. The author is Desiree Mangendog. Let me spell it for you. Desiree, and Mangendog is Mangandog. So yeah, she's rad. You can follow her on YouTube and Facebook, and she does lots of videos where she'll like blow your mind in her knowledge of botanicals. It's fun. Yeah, all right. Check you later.
Thanks.
Have a great day, guys. Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye.